Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Okay, so for our first 30 seconds of work, a little Tai Chi check-in. So we're going to do, in Tai Chi, they call it open the door. So with your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart and a little micro soft bend in the knees. As we inhale, we straighten the legs, arms rise up. And as we exhale, we bend the knees a little bit and float the arms down. So we're checking in, how do your knees feel? How do your ankles feel? How do your shoulders feel? Can you start breathing in and out through your nose? And then so for Tai Chi, this goes nice and slow, fluid arms, soft fluid legs, but we want to use this as a little bit of a check-in. So how does your body feel this morning? How is your energy level? All right, and then when you're ready, come up to a standing position, and now we're going to go for the rotate and shrug. So we're going to twist the torso, shrug the shoulders up, release, twist to the other side. Head stays facing forward, just the ribs and the torso move and the shoulders shrug up. And then if you like working with the breath, it's an inhale as the shoulders shrug, exhale as they soften down. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're going to bring fingertips to the shoulders and we're just going to start to circle our elbows. So we're going for 15 seconds in one direction. Now get a real good sense of how do your shoulders feel. We have like overhead hold, overhead press. We've got some work in the shoulders today to kind of just check in here. And then if things are feeling like there's anything clicking, if there's anything acting mischievous, you might choose to go light weights or no weights, reverse directions, go the other way. 5 more seconds. And then we're going to take it down to one leg. So we're going to just transfer our weight to one side, and it doesn't have to be big, and you can let the toe touch down each time, but just take a couple of rotations in the hip and then ask yourself, how does your hip feel? All right, reverse directions, go the other way. And like I said, it doesn't need to be huge. We would just want to do that little check-in and notice how things are feeling. All right, switch over to the other leg. All right, and then reverse directions, go the other way. Nicely done. All right, now grab one single light hand weight. We're going super light hay balers in a standing staggered stance. So step one foot slightly back, soft knees, take it to the hip, bring it over the shoulder, but go slow and light. So this is still a warm-up minute. We're going 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. But here we're just going to get a little bit of rotational work in the torso. As you're still doing this light work here, can you breathe in and out through your nose? All right, when you're ready, we're going to switch our stance and take it over to the other side. So change your staggered stance, take it to the hip, throw it over the shoulder, keep it light. We mostly want the rotation here, but then that's still that little bit of final check-in. How do your legs feel? How do your hips feel? How does your back feel? Did you get enough rest last night? And time, nicely done. Okay, now this one's a big one, so it's got a lot of moving parts. So I would say maybe choose your light weights, and then if you get into it and you're like, no, I could go super heavy, then you'll do what feels right. So we're gonna take it into a squat as we do a front raise, lower your arms, come down, bicep curl, overhead press, bring it back down, but then we're gonna make it nice and fluid. So as we sink into our squat, arms raise up, a little bit of a vigorous pump of the arms. so that everything moves and it never stops. We've got 1 minute on the clock. If you started doing that work and that felt like a lot, you might choose to go a little bit slow, a little bit more mindful, or even put your weights down. But if things are feeling good, you're going to take it at a nice vigorous pace, however fast feels good to you. There's that rotation of the palms as you transfer from that bicep curl to that overhead press. So let that rotation happen in a nice natural way. Just let your arms rotate in the way that feels the best to you. Nice job. "12 seconds left." And time. Awesome. All right, set those weights down. And now we're moving right into those barn doors. So we're going to grab our looping resistance band. And again, if your balance feels off or you have a tendency towards wanting to hold on to something, we're going to place the looping resistance band around the middle of our feet. So get the band in place first, and then ask yourself, do you want to hold on to something? Sometimes just a light handhold gives you that support you need, so that you don't have to struggle too much with your balance. And then you get to find the work without all of that other stuff wobbling all over the place. So the work is here. Pick the knee up, swing it out to the side, lower it down. If you can keep that looping resistance band around your feet, awesome. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. Hold on to a wall, hold on to something if it feels like finding that little bit of support gives you just what you need so you can work. So we're working the hip flexor muscles, we're working the external rotation of the leg, working the standing balance, but you can get that standing balance work without going hands free. So you can hold on tight and still find that work to build up that strength. And then I find once I get it going, especially if my balance was feeling a little off, it's always my right leg that gives me that little bit of grief. Sometimes once I get going, I can release my hands and find the work anyways. Nice job. And time. Awesome. All right, kick your legs out of that band. And now we're going to use it for our hands. So we're going to find a little bit of a horse stance. So think nice wide squatting position. Legs are going to be nice and strong. We're going to hold on with one hand forward, and we're going to pull our bow and arrow. So we're going to grab the other end of our band, pull back, and think thumbs up, pull your thumb back to your ear or back to your jawline, and then release it back nice and slow. We're going to go 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds the other side. So keep that nice low squatted position. Legs are strong the whole time. And then if you like just that little bit of eye focus work, you're going to keep your eyes focused on that front thumb. Let the other thumb skim past your cheek to the ear. So we're keeping the elbow nice and high, pull back nice and strong. Don't let the band snap you back, bring it back in with control. You guys look amazing. Nice job. All right, when you're ready, switch, and the other arm pulls back. Same thing here. Eyes focus on that front thumb. Pull the other thumb back to the cheek or the ear. Nice job. And time. Awesome. Release your arms. Give a second. Just give them a little shrug. All right. Now we're going to take it into an alternating jump into a lunge, and we're going to try to hold and catch our lunge. So we're going to find a nice, fairly wide stance. We're going to jump into a little lunge position, try to catch it and hold, step it back in. Jump with the other leg back, catch it and hold, step it back in. So the catch and hold is where the work is happening. So jump yourself into a lunge, Let your legs get nice and strong. Step it back in. How far you jump back into that lunge, where do you feel the strongest? There's no right or wrong, but we want to try to catch it and hold for a second and then step it back in. You've got it. Nice job. I'm landing toes, balls of the feet, but if you land full foot, go toe, ball, heel so that you're landing in a really nice soft way, catching yourself with the low impact. 20 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. All right, now we're going to take it right into a little low chair position. So think yoga chair pose. We're going to hold that low chair position. And now we're going to lift a knee up for a count of 4, lower it for a count of 4. So we're going to stay in that low position. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, lower 2, 3, 4, switch to the other side, up 2, 3, 4, lower 2, 3, 4. Your count, but we want to keep low, transfer your weight, pick it up slow. Set it down slow. What your arms are doing, totally up to you. If you're like, this isn't enough work for me, grab your hand weights, load up at the shoulders. But we want to find that transfer of weight, that slow controlled lift, that slow controlled lower. You've got it. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Don't lose that low squatting position. So if you start to come up to a standing, sit yourself back down into that chair. Yes, nice job. And time. Woo, come on up, shake your legs out. Okay, now grab your looping resistance band again. Now we're gonna go one move and then you'll add the second move if you want. So we're gonna hold it in front of us with just a little bit of a grip. Elbows are gonna stay out at the sides just to kind of find our shape first. We will rotate, keep that rotation, punch up towards the ceiling, lower back down, bring it back in. So it's a side rotation. Lift up, lower down, let it come back in. But now we're going to add on. So this is the first work. If you're only shooting for one thing, stick with this. If you want that little extra, you'll step back into a lunge, hold the lunge, punch up, bring it down, step it in, and then switch to the other side. Step back into a lunge, open, punch up, bring it down, and back in. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You choose the depth of work here that makes the most sense to you. So if you're like working on shoulder stuff, it might feel better to just stay in a nice soft knee stance and just work the upper body. But if adding that little bit of lunge gives you that nice bit of challenge, it'll challenge your core balance. Make those back muscles lock on, rotate, punch up, bring it back down, come in with control. You've got it. Nice job. And then check your wrists and your hands because this does work your grip a little bit. So if you like, look at your wrist as you open up. You don't want the wrists to move too much. Keep your wrists, your hands nice and solid. The punch up doesn't have to be too far because you get that rotational work and you're going to feel it in your shoulders. It's quite a burner. So you don't have to punch up too high up to the ceiling, but punch with control. Woo! And time. Nicely done. Okay, shake, shake, shake your arms out. And now we're going to grab one single hand weight, light or heavy. It's going to be totally up to you. We're going to go on one single leg for a full minute, but the hands are going to change. So the arm that's holding the weight, that's going to just be your overhead hold. The empty hand is going to be doing finger flicks. So fingers inside the thumb and you're flicking your fingers. At the 30-second mark, we will switch our hands, but we're going to stay on that single foot. You can put your big toe on the ground, hold that weight. I like to focus my eyes on a single point if I'm standing in a single leg stance for a while so that I can just really keep my focus on my breath. Think about getting nice and tall. Keep flicking your fingers. It's going to work your hands pretty good. All right, when you're ready, switch hands. Keep your balance if you can, and then back to that finger flick. And time. Woo! Set that leg down. Shake out your standing leg. Okay, but we're going back to it on the other side. So now we're going to stand on our other foot, reload that arm, single leg stance, and we flick, and we'll switch our arms at the 30-second mark. Five seconds left, and then we switch our hands. All right, when you're ready, switch. And then we flick with the empty hand. We keep that single leg stance if we can. You can always put your toe down on the ground if you need to catch your balance. Woo, and time, nice job. Okay, shake out that standing leg, shake everything out. We're coming down into a kneeling position. So it is going to be a knee down hay baler. If you don't want to go for that knee down, go for a lunge position, but a nice wide, low lunge. You'll take it to the hip, toss it over the shoulder. We've got 1 minute on the clock for this one. But if you don't mind coming down onto your knee, always have the option to cushion your knee. Get your knee down lunge position. We're taking it over to the hip. Toss it over the shoulder. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Find the work that makes the most sense to you. Slow and steady here. So we find that good rotation work coming out of our center. So as we rotate here, most of the upper body is doing the movement, but we want to keep a little bit of a squeeze in our butt, a little bit of strength in our legs so our legs stay nice and stable. You guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to take it into our knee hip mobility. So load up at your chest. We're going to let that front knee go past the toe, bring it back in. We're going to go 20 seconds here. We'll do 20 seconds out at the 45-degree and then 20 seconds out to the side. How far you go with this movement, how do your knees feel? How do your hips feel? So you go where you feel the safest and the strongest. Load up with weights if it feels good. If you're just pre-having or working on that mobility in the knee, you might choose to go no weights just to find the work first. All right, when you're ready, toe heel it out to that 45-degree and then right back to it. All right, when you're ready, toe heel it out all the way out to the side as far as it will go. That will look different on every body. And then right back to it. And time. Nicely done. Okay, step that leg in. We're switching right to the other side. So we're moving into our hay baler. Same thing on this side. You can do that bottom knee up if that feels like a better way to go. So if holding a more lifted lunge feels like more secure or stronger for you, do the thing that feels the best. Knee down or knee up, totally up to you. Take it over to the hip. Toss it over the shoulder. Keep your legs strong and solid. Let most of this rotation work come out of the torso. Yes, nice job. And time. Awesome. Okay, now we're taking it with that knee down into that mobility work. So we're going knee past the toe, bring it back in, loaded or unloaded. Keep in mind, one side might be very different from the other. So be sure to honor this side. We got 20 seconds going forward. Go to the depth where you feel the strongest. There, no shooting, no electric, no zinging pain in the knee. All right, when you're ready, toe heel it out to that 45-degree and then right back to it. All right, one more time, toe heel it out as far out to the side as you can, and then right back to it. And time. Beautiful. Okay, step that leg in. We're going to start by finding our shape in a tabletop, but then you'll choose your own adventure from there. So start by finding your tabletop position, and then we're going to go crooked table. So for my yoga friends, you know what I'm saying. Left elbow and forearm down, right hand's a little bit more straight. From here, you're going to lift up into a downward facing dog shape. The outer leg is going to lift up, so right leg lifts up. And now we're going to go knee to elbow, kick it up to the sky. So you're either choosing that down dog shape, or you'll keep that back knee down, lift the leg up nice and high, bring knee to elbow. So knee down or knee up, totally up to you. 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. So either from that down dog shape or the knee down, the options are yours. Pull that knee to the elbow and kick the leg up nice and high. Beautiful. Ten more seconds on this side. All right, when you're ready, bring it down for a moment, reset your table. We're switching over to the other side. So crooked table, right elbow and forearm down. From your table, you might just choose to go leg up, knee to elbow, or take it from that down dog shape, leg up, knee to elbow. Totally up to you. Ten seconds left. You got this. Yes, you guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Awesome. All right, come on down, spin it around, grab your looping band. We're going to come down all the way onto our back once we get ourselves set up. So take your looping band. We're going to place it around the middle of our feet, and we're going to do those hip rotations. I'll show you before you come down just to make sure you know what we're doing. So we'll be on our back side, looping resistance band around the feet, and we're going to rotate the feet out and back in. So toes up towards the ceiling and then out to the side. We're going to try to make that work come from out of the hips. So now once you've got your looping resistance band around your feet, come all the way down onto your back. Take a second, make sure everything feels comfortable. And then away we go. We want to feel that work all the way up in that front pocket area. So place your hands on your hips if it helps you find it. We've got 1 minute on the clock. If one foot is a little stronger than the other and you would prefer an alternating pattern, do that. But if it feels good to get both legs going at the same time, do what feels best in your body. Nice, slow, steady work here. So we want to push out and come back in with the same amount of control. You're already halfway there. Woo, and time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to keep that band around our feet if we can. Bring it up into a reverse tabletop position or into our dead bug. If you want a little extra, you'll grab your hand weights, load up in front of the chest, and you'll just keep that there. We're taking it into some bicycle dead bugs. So one leg is going to extend out, bring it back in with control. The other leg extends out, bring it back in with control. Keep everything else stable. So as the one leg moves out, all the other limbs stay as steady as they can. For some of us, it will feel stronger to have the low back pressing down into the ground. For some of us, it'll feel stronger to have a slight natural curve to the back. And for some of us, it'll feel a little stronger to curl up just a little bit. So find the place where your torso, where your center feels the strongest and most stable. Beautiful stability. Man, Karen and Liz, you guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Nicely done. Okay, lower your arms, grab hold of your looping band. We're going to move it up just a little bit. So we're going to move it up the calves, but we're going to stay underneath the knee joint. Once you've got the band moved up, bring your feet down. We're going to go for a slightly wide hip bridge setup, and then we're going to alternate between a hip bridge and a crunch. So we're going to keep a little bit of tension on that looping resistance band so that the knees don't kind of try to ricochet in towards each other. Keep a nice even distance. Lift your butt up, squeeze, lower down, come up and do a little crunch, lower back down. If you like working with the breath, you'll exhale as you lift your hips up, inhale, lower down, exhale as you do that little crunch, inhale, lower down. If that feels like it's not quite enough work, you're going to load your weights up at the hip points for your hip bridge, and then you're going to take them towards your chest for that little crunch and alternate between the two. So find the depth of work here that makes the most sense, but the whole entire time, make sure that those knees are staying nice and far away from each other. And time. Nicely done. Okay, if you were holding onto your weights, set them off and away from the side. And now we're going to keep the band around one shin or calf. So release one leg, and now we're going to take it into a figure four type of shape. So we're going to externally rotate the leg, and we're going to put a little tug on the band so that you can anchor that elbow down. So we're in that figure four shape, and now we're going to go 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. We're going to keep that figure four shape, but you're going to push your figure four away. So I'm holding onto my band with my left side. I'm keeping my elbow anchored on the ground. Keep your right leg in that external rotation. Nice solid foot, nice solid leg. Push the leg away from you. bring it back with control. We got 30 seconds on this side. Work at a pace that makes sense to you. So we don't want the band snapping us back. We push out with control and come back in with control. Yes, that looks excellent. Nice job. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to switch. So if you can, slip your left leg into your loop, slip your right leg out, get that external rotation. So the knee is turned out, the foot is turned in, anchor your right elbow down, keep and hold that anchor, a little solid foot, and then away we go. Push the leg away, bring it back with control. We got 30 seconds on this side. Take the work at your pace. And time. Nicely done. Okay, unloop your foot from that loop. Set both legs nice and long. Take a big yawning stretch. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, stretch out nice and long, and then take an exhale, curl all the way up to a seated position. Once you're up into that seated position, we're going to take it into a nice figure four stretch from here. So bring your right leg across your left. That might be enough. You might already be in a place where you're like, wow, that's enough sensation for me. If it feels good, but you want more, lean back just a little bit, slide your other leg in. Push into your palms and lift your chest toward your shin. Take 3 more breaths here. Awesome. Soften your elbows, slide that left leg nice and long, unstack your right, take a second, bop and wiggle everything out. And then we're taking it to the other side. So left leg is going to come across the right. One side might be different than the other. So you might be hearing like, that's enough. You may choose to stay just like this. If this feels good, but you want more, you're going to slide that right leg in, press into your palms, lift your chest toward your shin. Three more cycles of breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, soften up, release that leg nice and long, bounce it out, wiggle out your ankles, wiggle out your toes. And then we're going to take it into a nice wide leg position. So step your legs out just as wide as feels good. You want to feel a light bit of tension in the inner thigh and groin area. And then once you feel like a little bit of stress there, that's plenty. That's all you need. Once you found that little bit of stress, walk yourself out to increase that stress a little bit, but it should be something that feels like a positive stress and you can still breathe into it. Once you're there, we're going to go toes in, toes out. So you're going to turn the toes in and then turn the toes out. So a little bit of rotational work. If you get here and you're finding this rotational work is a little much for how wide you put your legs, bring them in just a little bit closer. But if you can stay where you are, rotate in, rotate out, take about 3 more rotations. And then on this last rotation, hold the toes pulling backwards slightly, walk yourself forward 1 more nice big step, and then take 3 nice deep breaths. Cool. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back in nice and slow. Grab the backs of your knees. We're going to come into a little crisscross applesauce situation and then bring one arm across the chest. Drop your shoulder down. Once you feel the little stress or just a little bit of work happening in that upper shoulder, take a couple nods of the head up and down. One more nod up and down. And then as you release that arm, send it all the way down to the ground. Take a light and gentle side bend. lift up and out of that side bend, and then bring that other arm across the chest, drop the shoulder down, and then add that nodding of the head up and down if it feels good. One more light nod of the head up and down. And then as you release, place that hand down on the ground, lift up and over, get that little side bend. Beautiful. And then lift all the way up and out of that side bend. Come up to standing in any way that makes sense to you. And then we're going to finish with a quick little forward fold. So find your standing position, take a nice big breath, reach up and overhead, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down towards the ground, fold just as far as feels good. And then once you're there, let your head hang nice and heavy. Knees as bent as they need to be so that there's no stress in the back of the leg, no stress in the back of the knees, and no zinging in your butt. Stay in your folded position, lift your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can, and then reset your wide spread toes on the ground. Lift the arches of your feet, bend your knees just a little bit more, pull your belly button in, and then slow as you can, roll your way up to standing. Take your time. And then as you come all the way up, woo, give everything a shake and a wiggle. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around. You guys are amazing. And once you've got your space cleared, we're going to take one hand onto the roller, turn yourself sideways. We're going to use that for a little bit of balance. And then we're going to go with just some light little side leg lifts to start, just to kind of get those side glutes to kick on a little bit. If you like finding that work, place your hand on the side of your butt, side of your hip, and you'll feel those muscles working just a little bit. All right, now we're going to hold that leg in that lifted position. We're going to tip over towards our roller and then come back up, but keep the leg lifted. Tip over towards your roller, come back up. See if you can make most of the work come out of the leg, but the arm does help support. Nice. 2 more just like that. Beautiful. And then set that leg down, switch over to the other side. So spin yourself around or pass your roller around. And then once you're there, lift the leg up, lower it down, hand on the hip if it helps you find that little bit of work. Awesome. And then hold it in that lifted position, tip towards your roller, come back up. And now as you tip towards that roller, especially since you worked that first standing leg already, you may feel it in that side of your hip. 2 more to go. Awesome. And then set that leg down, reset your roller so you can walk back to your down dog. So both hands on the roller, walk yourself back to that V shape. And then just for a moment here, let your chest, let your head, let your whole back soften. Take 3 nice deep breaths. We're going to do a little bit of footwork, and then we're going to come down onto that hip points with the tail drawing down. So if you needed to empty your bladder, this might be a good moment to do so. But if you feel like you're ready to just carry on with your work, walk yourself forward, grab hold of the roller, flip it sideways, place it down on the ground, leave it on the ground, come back up nice and slow. And then 1 foot on, 1 foot off, a nice slow roll to the bottom of the foot. One more slow roll here, and then we're going to turn the knee in, find the instep of a foot, slow it down a little bit, and just try to stay right with that instep. So not going all the way to the toe or to the heel, but just in that middle part of the foot. Lovely. One more in and out there, and then we're going to rotate the leg out, find the blade edge of the foot, and then roll from heel to toe. Nice. One more roll heel to toe, and then bring it back to the ball of the foot. Lift your toes just slightly and do that little bug squish. One more little bug squish here, and then take it to the center of your foot and then bug squish. One more little squish here, and then take it to the heel, press down as much as you can and squish. Nice. One more little squish and then take it back to that nice soft roll, just working from heel to toe. Beautiful. One more little soft roll and then set that foot down. We switch over to the other side. One foot on, one foot off, soft roll the bottom of the foot. Awesome. And then when you're ready, turn the knee and find the instep of the foot. So it's a smaller roll there. One more roll to the instep and then take it to the outer edge of the foot. So go blade edge, but toe to heel. Beautiful. One more roll to the blade edge and then bring it up to the ball of the foot. Lift the toes just a little bit. Do the bug squish. One more little bug squish here and then take it to the center of the foot and squish. One more little squish here. Take it to the heel, as much downward pressure as you can stand, and squish. Nice. One more little squish side to side and then just take it back to that soft, soothing roll. Lovely. One more little roll here, and then we are going to come down onto our hip points on the roller. So if you want to cushion your knees, put your little blanket or your towel down so your knees have a soft place to land. And then once you've got your props all set up, we're going to place that roller so that it's underneath our hip points. So we want it under the hip points. Take a second to find your way there, and then you're going to step your feet just slightly wider. So you do want to make sure your knees, your kneecaps feel like they're in a soft position. Once you've got your way there, make sure your hip points feel like they're in a good and soft position. Pause for a moment before you even relax into it. Make sure everything feels good. If you got here and you're like, well, shoot, I did need to empty my bladder, take a second to go do it. But if all is feeling good, you're going to go elbows super wide. You're going to start to stack your hands, let your forehead rest there. And then you're going to think about letting your knees and your tailbone get nice and heavy towards your heels. So you're going to imagine that you have a dragon tail, and your dragon tail is super, super heavy, and it's really heavy all the way down toward your heels. So see if you can relax into that shape a little bit. Let your tailbone get as heavy as it can. We're here for about 30 more seconds. So if you can here, just breathe nice and deep into your rib cage. So you want to think about breathing into your rib cage like an umbrella. Inhale, the rib cage opens up and expands. Exhale, and the umbrella closes in towards itself. We got 15 seconds left. Okay, when you're ready, slowly start to lift your forehead away from your hands. Walk your elbows in so we find that little bit of stack. We're going to curl the toes under, lift the knees up, rotate to just one side so that you can push yourself up and off. And now we're just going to move the roller down to the thighs. Once you've got the roller down toward your thighs, recenter yourself. We're going to go about 5 slow, soft rolls. So we're going to keep the toes on the ground. We're going to let the toes drag. We're going to gently roll towards the knees. Gently roll up towards the thighs, but go as slow as you can stand here. Draw yourself forward. Draw yourself back, but super slow motion if you can. One more time through. Draw yourself forward slow as you can. Draw yourself back slow as you can. Wonderful. And now we're going to find the middle of the thighs. So the next time you come forward, just find that middle point and then bend your knees a little bit. Light and gentle swishes of the knees side to side, or heels side to side. One more light little swish of the feet side to side, and then gently float those toes down. We're going to curl the toes under. Pick your hips up. We're going to move the roller all the way up. So get that little bit of a planking position. Move your roller up. It's going to come under the belly button line. Once you've got the roller underneath your belly button, gently lower your knees. Think Sphinx position to start. So elbows and forearms on the ground. And then we're going to do a little bit of firmness of the belly. So you're going to firm up your belly like you're pushing the roller away from you, and then soften your abdomen over the roller. Firm up your belly, push the roller away, and then soften those muscles over the roller. One more time. Firm up your belly, push the roller away, soften your belly over the roller, and then in that sort of still elbows and forearms supporting, but soft tissue on the roller. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Lovely. Now, when you're ready, we're going to roll over to one side. So take your time as you roll onto one side. We're going to get that roller underneath the soft side body tissue. Once you've got it under the soft side body tissue, we're going to think about where the curve of our ribs is. And then we're going to roll onto the curve of the ribs and then roll back onto the side body. Roll onto the curve of your ribs. Roll back onto the side body. Roll onto the curve of the ribs. Stay there. Take a big inhale into your rib cage. Slow exhale, and then come back off. In that side body position, we're going to come all the way down. So keep the roller under that side soft tissue, lower the bottom arm, make sure everything feels good and comfortable. You're going to feel that little compression in the side body. Top arm is going to reach up, and then that top leg, if it feels good, it's going to slide back just a little bit, like you're reaching the leg behind you. Take a big breath into your rib cage. Slow breath out. One more breath. Top hand is going to find the roller, come up just a little bit. We're going to slide that bottom elbow in, and then we're going to lift up just enough so that we can find that low back side body tissue. And we're going to now do the little lean back. So rather than leaning forward into the ribs, lean back and then bring it back to the side. Lean back and bring it back to your side. Lean back, stay there, take one extra cycle of breath. Awesome. And then come through center, and then we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to flip myself around so I'm facing out to you, but you position yourself in the way that makes the most sense. Find that soft side body tissue to start. Once you've found that soft side body tissue, you're going to lean forward, find the curve of the ribs. So roll forward and then come back, roll forward and then come back. Roll forward, stay there on the curve of the ribs. Take a big breath into your rib cage. Slow breath out. Come off of the curve of the ribs, but stay in the soft side body tissue. Bottom arm is going to extend down, so we're taking that side bend. Make sure it feels good. If you need to readjust anything that feels like it's getting caught up, take a second to find your way into that comfortable enough position. Top hand extends up. Bottom leg reaches back, but only if that feels good, just to find that little bit of extra length through the side of the hip. And then once you're there, breathe expansively into your rib cage. One more breath. Top hand finds the roller, come up nice and slow and controlled. Slide that bottom arm in just so you're supported on the elbow and forearm. And then we're doing that lean back. So you're going to lean back into that low back side body tissue and then come back to center, lean back, and then come back in, lean back, hang out there, take an extra cycle of breath. Awesome. And then come forward, lift up, and then we're going to move ourselves around just so that we can find our low back hugging up nice and tight up against the roller. So get your low back up against the roller, clip your elbows over the back side of the roller so we keep a little bit of a wedge there. So keep your elbows firm and tight, and then a light and gentle swish of the knees side to side. Nice. One more little light and gentle swish of those knees side to side, and then lift up just enough, move the roller so that it's underneath the shoulder blade area. Once you've got your way there, hands behind the head, lean back over your roller, exhale and come back up. Inhale, lean over your roller. Exhale to come up. Inhale, lean over your roller. Exhale, come up, push into your feet, lift your butt up and just roll about 2 inches right there at that bottom edge of the shoulder blades. Come to the top of that roll, set your butt down, hands behind the head, lean back over your roller. Exhale to crunch up. Inhale, lean over the roller. Exhale, crunch up. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, crunch up, push into your feet, lift your butt up, roll an inch or 2 here. And then extend that roll down where you started all the way back to the top of that inch. One more big roll with that bit of length and then come up to that top of the inch, maybe go slightly past that top inch, set your butt down, lean back over your roller. Exhale to crunch up. Inhale, lean over your roller. Exhale, crunch up. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, crunch up, push into your feet, lift up, roll an inch or 2 here. And then take it into that big generous roll. So go all the way up to the tops of the shoulders, all the way below the shoulder blades. And if you're feeling really good and you have that good control and you keep your core locked on, you can go all the way into the low back, but only as long as you support that low back with a nice firm center. Nice. Take one more big roll up and down. And then we're going to come up into like that middle point where we find the armpit area. And then we're going to get onto the armpit proper. So we're going to get into the armpit, get as much of your armpit onto your roller as you can, which might mean a slight side angle of your roller, hands however you like. And then we're just going to rest on the armpit and take 3 expansive breaths in the rib cage. So as much of your armpit on the roller as you can, with as much of your body weight on, rest your head, support your head any way that feels good. Once you feel like you've got a fairly comfortable position, 3 nice big breaths. Once you've completed that 3rd breath, lift up just enough, and then we're going to use that front hand or top hand to give just a little bit of a wiggle. So we're just going to wobble just a little bit side to side, not too much downward pressure. One more little wobble side to side and then lift up. We're going to slip that top arm under and then get the shoulder head on. So get that nice round part of the shoulder onto your roller. Come back to that little wiggle side to side. One more little wiggle side to side and then lift up enough that you can take that shoulder completely off. Bring the roller into the soft side curve of your neck. Once you're there, a little gentle turn of the head side to side. Doesn't need to be extreme, super small, gentle movement here. One more little wiggle side to side with the head. And then if you're wearing glasses and they get caught up in the way, set them off somewhere safe. We're going to move up to the jaw. So we're going to place the jaw on the roller. Once you've got your jaw on, we're going to do that open and close of the mouth, or like you're chewing a sandwich. So nice big open and close. One more little open and close, and then take a little turn of the head side to side. One more little turn of the head side to side, and then we're going to move the roller on up. So we're going to come above the cheekbone where the cheekbone meets the ear. Once you're there, gently nod your head up and down. Turn your head a little side to side. And then we're going to move up to the forehead line. So think forehead to temple. Once you've found that place, gently nod your head up and down. And we want to keep the skin and connective tissue trapped. So we put that little bit of downward pressure, and then it should feel like the skin is kind of moving on the bone. So that's the sensation that we're looking for. If you're moving up and down, turn it a little side to side. All right, now move back down to that cheekbone, turning a little side to side. Move a little bit up and down. When you're ready, take it back down to the jaw. Move a little side to side. And then do that little open and close of the mouth. One more little open and close of the mouth and bring it back to the soft curve of the neck. Hang out there, take one gentle breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up. We're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to spin myself around so I'm facing out, but now we're moving back under the armpit. So we're going to get the roller underneath the armpit, as much of your armpit on the roller as you can. So that might be a bit of a side angle. It might be a little bit of a tilt of your roller, whatever gets you to where you can get most of your armpit covered on the roller. And then once you're there, rest on as much as you can and just notice your breath. Breathe into your rib cage best you can. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then lift up just enough that you can do that little bit of a wiggle side to side. One more little wiggle and then push yourself up, slide that arm up and through so that we get the shoulder head on the roller. Once you've got the shoulder head on the roller, rock yourself a little forward and back. Beautiful. One more little rock forward and back, and then lift yourself up, move the roller underneath the soft curve of your neck. Once you're there, gentle turn of the head side to side. Nothing major. We want to be super mindful here. It's a delicate place, so be slow and mindful. One more turn side to side, and then pause for a moment. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, lift up, find the jaw. Once you're on your jaw, open and close your mouth. One more open and close, and then maybe just a little wiggle side to side. If you're wearing your glasses, put them somewhere safe, and then we're going to move on up. So we're going to go up by that cheekbone where the cheek meets the ear. Once you're there, a little turn of the head side to side. And then a little nod of the head up and down. When you're ready, move on up to where the forehead meets the temple, a little turn of the head side to side. And then a little nod of the head up and down. Awesome. And then when you're ready, move back down to that cheekbone ear area, nod your head up and down. Wiggle a little side to side. Come back to the jaw, turn a little side to side. And then open and close your jaw. One more open and close, and then lift up, get that roller back under the soft curve of your neck. Pause, take a breath. And then just a light and gentle move of the head side to side. Nice. One more light and gentle roll of the head side to side. and then come all the way up and off. And now we're going to move that roller so that we can sit on it and move our glutes for one last little moment. So sit your butt onto your roller, and we're taking it into that big movement right away. So move from side of the hips to side of the hips, rolling across just as much as feels good. Beautiful. The next time you come over to the right, stay there. Take a couple of big, generous rolls up and down. Nice. One more nice big roll up and down. And then when you're ready, take it all the way over and across to the other side. Some big, generous rolls up and down here. Beautiful. One more nice big generous roll up and down. And then we're going to come through center. We're going to do a little funky transition. So we're going to place our hands off to the side. Keep your hands on your roller if you can. You're going to spin yourself around. Keep your hands connected to the roller the whole time. And then roll yourself around into a forward fold position. Once you've got that forward fold position, steamroll the tops of your feet. One more little steamroll to the tops of the feet, and then keep your roller on the ground. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up nice and slow and controlled. And then just to finish, we're going to do that little bobblehead shake of our head. So you're going to keep your body in a fairly neutral position, and you're just going to kind of tick-tock your head a little bit side to side, but let it be a little bit of a shake. Nice. One more little bobblehead shake of your head, and then let everything come to a stillness just for a moment. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, let your shoulders soften and let your jaw relax. Nice. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. You guys are amazing. Be sure to drink plenty of water after doing all of that.